1,000 per couple in their income taxes, but the whole package, this is the scary part about it. Okay, the whole package is $825 billion.
825 billion. Okay.
That's the whole package. And you ask where the money comes from?
Yes. Where did the money come?
This gets still scary.
Yes. Where did the money come from?
Now,
That's
we're
show
talking
us
numbers.
the
Most
money.
people are bored with numbers, so I'm going
right.
to try and make this a little bit
Okay.
interesting, okay? We owe everybody.
Okay.
I mean, we owe everybody. Let me just tell you who we owe. We touched base a little bit on China.
That's right.
And not that we were singling out China, because
No.
China is one of the main people that hold the whole security notes. Okay, China mainland. This is in $1 billion. This is these numbers go back to May, so the numbers may be a little bit higher.
Okay.
China mainland, they hold security of $801 billion. Japan, 667. The oil exporters, that's the Middle East. That includes Ecuador, Venezuela, Indonesia, Bahrain, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Emirates, Algeria, so on and so on. But that's the Middle East, 192.9 billion. The United Kingdom, 163. Brazil, 127. Russia, 124. These are all billions. Luxembourg, 93.3. Hong Kong, 93 billion. Taiwan, 75 billion. Switzerland, 63 billion. Germany, 55 billion. Ireland, 50 billion. Singapore, 39 billion. India, 38 billion. Korea, 37 billion. Mexico, even Mexico's in there, $31 billion. Turkey, 28. Norway, 28. Thailand, 26 billion. Countries you wouldn't even believe that we would owe with their whole security notes. France, 25 billion. Israel, 19 billion. Egypt, 18 billion. Italy, 16 billion. The Netherlands, 16 billion. Belgium, and it goes on and on and on. I'm not going to keep reading them all, but here's the thing: the total is $2,287 billion.
That we will.
I'm sorry. The total is $3,293 billion. We talk about billions like this, then so many nickels and dimes.
Right. Sure.
And that would come out to. I hope I don't make a mistake on my math. The 3,293 billion would come out to 3 trillion dollars.
Okay. Now, how do we pay these debts back, Joe?
You know, someone once told me that I try to make numbers interesting. People get bored with numbers, and I understand that. They bore me too, because I have trouble with the multiplication table. That's why they bore me. But someone once told me that of all the people that have ever been on this planet, from day one, people that have died and the people who are here now, half the people are still alive. Okay? Let's assume that's correct. That statement is correct, which it is. It is. Sounds odd, but it is correct. That would bring us somewhere near 10 billion people, everybody. And I jotted some numbers around, if we wanted to pay this debt off, we'd have to go around to every which one of them, right? Even knock on the door of those people that are gone, and ask for $250. Collect $250 from everybody that's been on this planet from day one, as long as they're gone. Now that's scary. Because how you get out of debt like that?
Right.
I don't mean it's scary to knock on the door of somebody who's dead and ask for $250. It felt $50. I mean, that's bad enough.
Of course.
But to come out of that kind of debt is going to take a lot, and that's okay. So how does the stimulus package play into this? It's adding to that debt. Okay,
but do we pay some of these nations back in terms of the trade, in terms of technology, in terms of things of that nature, development and things? It's not.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's many ways that they pay back. I don't know how exactly, but how commerce is done as far as how the trade-off is done.
And do anyone owe the United States in terms of a stimulus package? Have any other nation taken a stimulus package where the United States have given money also?
I don't think we got any money to give out. But
show us the money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But the thing that you got to remember is the government, and everybody can't look at the government. Give me. It don't work. It's not going to be the government that's going to bail us out. It's not going to happen. What's going to bail us out is the private sector. There's where you got to get back the stimulus package. Educate people, get them jobs. Get industry rolling again. Take on everything, okay? You've got to become the leader in economy. You become the leader. You got a strong economy.
Okay.
You begin to fund the treasury again. Taxes roll back in again, and that's how we're going to be able to pay that deficit off. And we're not going to do that overnight. Right now, we've got an economy that's shaky, and we have to spend a great deal of money to try and build that economy back up. Okay, so people are worried, and they got every right to be worried.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because we've watched. I mean, we watch nations collapse. On
Sure.
the time Russia collapsed.
Sure.
You know.
But now we owe Russia. You say.
No, Russia. No, yeah, Russia holds some notes on us. You know, like any other country here. But that's the numbers. They're big and they're scary. You know, people talk. They realize what $1 trillion. So they, you know, people talk. Well, we got to pay a trillion. You have any idea what $1 trillion is?
Well,
It's a lot.
what is it that people talk about us starting to produce things and stuff, and we talked about that on the last show, Joe, that it costs us so much more to make a product in terms of assembly line again and things of that nature, whatever product it is.
You know,
and everybody is using.
But I
Asia
don't,
is a
you know,
big-
I forget her name. I guess that was your last time. Okay, we
Alicia,
kind of banged
Alicia,
that.
right, Alicia.
And maybe I had a little bit of an arrogant
Yeah.
attitude because I feel that this country, we can do anything.
Yeah, but I
and I'm going to give you an example because you're going to relate to this. This is happening during the 50s and 60s.
Right, yeah.
The Japanese began to enter the economic market.
Yes.
And they put out a lot of cheap stuff.
Yes. they did.
And we called it Jap SHIT.
Right.
Okay, you remember that.
Remember.
The revenue, excuse
Yeah,
my
yeah.
Irish, but that's what we called it.
Right.
Nobody bought it. It was cheaper than American goods.
That's right.
But we didn't buy it. And you know why didn't we buy it? Because it was Jap SHIT. That's the expression we use. The Japanese learned, and they put out a strong product.
Sure.
They came out with Sony.
Sure.
I mean Panasonic.
Yes, Honda.
I mean got all this electronics. They come out with the Honda.
Yes. Yeah.
Banging heads with GM's Escort.
yeah.
Sure, GM took a backseat to that one.
yeah,
Okay, and these products that the Japanese came out with cost more than the American product.
yes.
You go buy a Sony, it's going to cost you more than RCA,
Yes.
right? But what do you buy?
But
my
you know,
point is,
Joe-
yeah,
but Joe-
my point here is, and I'm
right,
trying to make
right.
is, you still buy the Sony because why? Because hey, I know it's a Sony and it's good,
Right.
and I'm going to get what I want.
But
out of it.
sometimes it may have like, all right, you go to Walmart and you see RCA product, right? They still have RCA,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Okay, which is American brand, and then you see Sony or Toshiba, whatever it is, Sanyo or whatever. But they seem to have like, I was going to buy a radio a few weeks ago, right? Just a little portable, right? A little portable with the CD player on it. Okay. Now, the Sony radio, right, had an auxiliary. So that means I can plug my iPod into it, plug anything I want. Now, the more American one, which is the RCA, Zenith or whatever it is, did not have auxiliary. You follow me?
Uh-huh.
And I turned that thing upside down. Look, I said, it's got to have an auxiliary somewhere. And it just did not have it. And it was a few bucks higher, So it makes you wonder, you say, well, are we just creating things without, are we really bridging things to really work?
Well, what I think we saw a role reversal. You talked about well, how can we compete in manufacture? And then when how did they do it? They turned the whole industry around. It's because we started putting out junk. We became the nation that put out. I mean, they still put out junk overseas, but we became it, and so they bought other. We got to put out a better product. People who pay the extra money, they will give them something. Okay?
Give them something. You got to dig deep. See, another thing too. All right, let's look at the 50s and the 60s. When President Kennedy spoke, and I saw one of his speeches. I was up in Cambridge. I believe his library is there. Maybe it's right outside of Boston there, right on the water, whatever. And I saw one of his speeches about 2 years ago, and he was talking about toasters and what's the thing Mother used to use, can openers and things. And he was speaking of these things that really wasn't actually developed yet. He said, well, all these things you guys will buy for your house, you know what I mean, things of that nature. He's talking about the toaster, can opener, electric can opener, and little things that and the mixer and stuff of that nature, which was going to be electric. Okay, all right. So as the years went by, we bought them. You've seen electric stuff, and then Mama wasn't no longer turning stuff with her hands. You had electric stuff. Okay, fine. All right. But today, when we have evolved. You follow me? See, we have evolved to a new level where you take nations, and I won't call the name because I don't want the bigotry to come this way. You have nations that's just evolving out of, let's say, their humble beginnings. Okay, they're getting where. All right, I was the last one in my family to have a store to get. My mother used to make my clothes, and then she started buying them. You know what I mean? So I had a store-bought shirt, but I also had a homemade. I had more homemade shirts than I had store-bought. You know what I mean? The kids would say, "Hey, you got a homemade shirt." But a lot of these people today, a lot of these other nations, they're just getting where they have, let's say, a highway like 78, where they have a highway like 95. You see what I mean? Where we have evolved way beyond that. So if they make $10 a month, versus we would probably need to make, let's say, like $2,000-$3,000 a month. You see, because we evolve, we're on a different level. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but you got to remember something. You're talking about maybe third world countries or up and coming nations.
Yeah.
But they have a different standard of living. Look at your standard of living out here. Look what Americans give to you. I mean, you probably have an air conditioned home.
Yes.
I mean, you turn the spigot on, you got hot water, you got cold water,
yes.
You got a refrigerator.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got internet service. Talk to anybody you want around the world.
Right.
You got these flat screen TVs. You got all the amenities.
Right.
You wanted those, it costs you a little bit
Right.
more. In time, they will have that.
Yes, but this was another show that we got to cut. We only got about 4 minutes left. This is what I'm talking about, Joe. Is that, okay, we have these things, but we physically and psychologically evolved into these things. You see what I mean? We have evolved into these things. Now, you take a nation where just a television, you follow me? Mm-hmm. Just a television means everything. That don't have to be flat screen. Just a television. Where now people are like, I don't want it unless it's flat screen. You understand what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't want it unless I want the house unless I have internet service. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that due to evolutionary change, the evolutionary of a track mean anything in terms of us doing business. Are we doing business? Is it more feasible for us to do business with let's say, nations that's just developing a dam or just developing this?
Look at it this way: it's opportunity knocking on the door. They don't have a refrigerator, we're going to sell it to them. They don't have a TV, we'll sell it to you.
Yes.
You need a sewing machine, I'm going to make it, I'm going to sell it to you. It's a market. It's become a market.
Yes, but what happens is that the big countries, what they do is say, you can make it for us because you can make it even cheaper. You understand what I mean? And that's why our televisions and stuff have the many different names that they have on them, that most of that stuff was, a lot of that stuff was developed,
true, but things will blend together.
Yeah.
They'll all come together.
So we have to figure out.
Catch up is a lot quicker today.
Yes. So we got to figure, you understand where I'm at, Joe. What I'm saying is that we have evolved, you understand me, to where I say what Oprah Winfrey said one time. She said that the kids in America wanted an iPod. And when she was building the school, that motivated her to build a school in Africa, in South Africa, was the kids didn't want an iPod. But it wasn't that the kids didn't want an iPod, they just didn't know about an iPod. Because once they find out about this little iPod, whatever they call it, that can carry 3,000 songs on it, no one is going to be having a stack of records behind them no more. You understand what I mean? Because they haven't evolved to that level.
We have so much here.
Yeah.
And I know it's closing time, but just to say that great things happen to America because we're Americans is arrogant. Okay? We have proved ourselves.
But yes.
And these things that there'll always be challenges.
But is it actually arrogance, or is it what happened is that we have evolved?
Well,
you understand? It's like this right here. Remember years ago when a man used to fight? He would fight, have one hand up, other hand up. And he would fight like a box, one step at a time, right? Then come along the great Muhammad Ali. He's started big guy. He's floating around this ring, right? Now everybody want to float around the ring. You understand what I mean?
So is being arrogant so terrible? A little bit of arrogance, I don't think it's something. If you earned it, you got Ali.
Yeah.
Maybe he was arrogant at times. But did he deserve the right to be? Did he prove himself?
without a doubt, he deserved.
I mean, did he rise
But I love
above so
Ali.
much?
You know,
so he wanted to be a little arrogant.
Yeah.
God bless him. Be a little arrogant. It makes you happy. It
Yeah,
makes you who you are. You earned it. You know.
I think it was Adam Smith said this, the father of economics of the Western world. He said something like this right here: the selfishness of you understand me? Because I'm selfish. I'm a diehard. I'm gonna build this station. I'm gonna make it happen, right? I'm selfish on it. I may give up this, may give up that, but then I gotta employ people, so it helps out. It balance. See, everybody's not the same. You understand me? Everybody's not the same. You know what I mean? So we have to kind of look at it. You know, we got 1 more minute. We got to kind of look at the Western world. Do we need that bread basket?
Well, I always think that we've always shared what we've had.
Yes.
We've gotten a black eye and a bad name at times, but overall we have shared a lot and we've given a lot.
Yes.
Okay, so we're right now we're having our own problems.
Yes.
And it amazes me that nobody has come to even sympathize with
Yes.
us. But we'll get back on our feet. It's only a matter of time.
Just a matter of time. Okay, just a matter of time. We close out with just a matter of time.
Ooh, yeah, I can't.
Okay, I guess we